What if I told you that you could heat water for free forever using a method so simple, energy companies hope you never find out? Imagine never worrying about your hot water bill again, no matter how many showers you take or how many dishes you wash. Sounds impossible, right? But today, I'm about to reveal a hidden solution that's been quietly saving smart DIYers, off-grid enthusiasts, and even survivalists hundreds of dollars every single year. And the best part? You can build it yourself for less than the price of a fast food meal. Now, before you think this is just another too good to be true hack, let me show you something. Here's a regular bucket of cold tap water, nothing special. And here, just a few hours later, is that same water, heated up to steaming, ready for a hot shower, a warm bath, or even emergency cleaning. Without using a single watt of electricity or a drop of gas, no fancy equipment, no complicated wiring, and absolutely no need to call in a professional. This is the kind of result that most people think is only possible with expensive solar panels or high-tech gadgets. But what if I told you that all you need are a few everyday items, a little bit of sunlight, and a secret method that's been hiding in plain sight? Stick around, because in this video, I'm going to walk you through every single step of building your own solar water heater for under $10. I'll show you the exact materials, the hidden tricks that make it work even on cloudy days, and the genius hacks that most people miss. By the end, you'll wonder why you ever paid for hot water in the first place. Don't miss out. This is the solar secret they don't want you to know. Every month, millions of people unknowingly pour money down the drain just to enjoy a hot shower or wash their dishes. The average household spends a shocking chunk of their energy bill, sometimes up to 20%, just on heating water. That's money you could be saving, investing, or spending on things you actually enjoy. But here's the kicker. Most people don't even realize there's a better way. They're stuck in a cycle, paying for expensive gas or electric water heaters, thinking it's the only option. Energy companies love this. Why? Because the more you use, the more you pay, and the more they profit. But what if you could break free from that system? And what if you could tap into a hidden, almost banned DIY solution that lets you heat water for free, using nothing but the sun and a few simple materials? This isn't some futuristic fantasy or a complicated science project. It's a method that's been quietly used by off-grid experts and survivalists for years, but rarely talked about in mainstream circles. Why? Because if everyone knew how easy and cheap it was, the big utility companies would lose out. Big time. Don't be one of the millions wasting money every month. In just a few minutes, you'll learn how to beat the system, slash your bills, and take control of your own hot water supply. Keep watching, because the next step is where the real magic begins. Let's break down the science behind solar water heating, and why it's so much more powerful than most people realize. When you hear solar power, you probably picture expensive panels and complicated wiring. That's what most people think. But the truth is, the sun's energy is all around us, and harnessing it to heat water is actually one of the simplest and most efficient uses of solar power. No fancy tech required. Here's what really works. Sunlight carries energy in the form of heat. When that sunlight hits a dark surface, it gets absorbed and converted directly into warmth. If you've ever touched a black car on a sunny day, you know just how hot it can get. Sometimes too hot to touch. That's the exact principle behind solar water heating. By running water through dark tubing or containers and exposing it to the sun, you can raise the temperature dramatically, often hotter than you'd expect, and all without plugging in a single device. Most people overlook this because they assume you need high-tech gear or a big investment to make solar work. But the real secret is using the right materials and a few clever tricks to maximize the sun's natural power. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about using what already works, but in a smarter, more efficient way. Get ready, because in the next section, I'll show you exactly what you need to build your own solar water heater for less than $10. Here's the best part. You don't need a shopping cart full of expensive gadgets or specialty parts. In fact, you probably already have most of what you need lying around your garage, basement, or even your recycling bin. To build this solar water heater for under $10, you'll need just a handful of simple materials. Nothing fancy, nothing hard to find. First, grab about 10 to 15 feet of black garden hose or black plastic tubing. The darker the better, because black absorbs the most heat from the sun. Next, you'll need a clear plastic storage bin or even an old glass window, something to create a mini greenhouse effect and trap the heat. You'll also want a couple of empty plastic bottles or a small water container to act as your water reservoir. Don't forget some basic zip ties or duct tape to hold everything together, and a pair of scissors or a utility knife for cutting. That's it. No power tools, no complicated parts, and no need to order anything online. But here's the catch. Miss just one of these items, and your solar heater won't work nearly as well. Each piece plays a crucial role in capturing and holding on to the sun's energy. So double check your list, gather your supplies, and get ready, because the next step is where the magic really happens. Now that you've got your materials ready, it's time to dive into the build, the part where most people either get it right and enjoy free hot water or miss a crucial detail and end up disappointed. I'm going to walk you through every step, including the hidden tricks that most tutorials skip. By the end, you'll have a solar water heater that works better than anything you've seen online, all for under $10. Let's start with the heart of your heater, the black hose or tubing. Most people just coil it up and call it a day, but here's the first hidden trick. The tighter and flatter you coil the hose, the more surface area you expose to the sun, and the hotter your water will get. Lay your hose out on a flat surface and start coiling it into a tight spiral, almost like a snail shell. Make sure each loop is snug against the next with as little space as possible in between. This maximizes the amount of sunlight hitting the hose at any given time. Once you've got your coil, use zip ties or duct tape to secure it in place. Don't just tie it at the ends, add a few ties throughout the coil to keep it from unraveling. This is a step most people skip, and it makes a huge difference in both performance and durability. If you want to go the extra mile, place a piece of black cardboard or even a black trash bag underneath your coil. This adds another layer of heat absorption, turning your setup into a mini solar oven. Next, let's talk about the greenhouse effect. Most DIYers just leave their coil exposed, but here's where you can really supercharge your results. Take your clear plastic storage bin or old window and place it over the coiled hose. This traps the sun's heat, creating a warm, insulated environment that can boost your water temperature by 10, 20, or even 30 degrees more than an uncovered coil. If you're using a storage bin, flip it upside down and set it right over the coil. If you're using a window, prop it up with bricks or rocks so it covers the coil without touching it. The key is to create a sealed space that lets sunlight in but keeps heat from escaping. Now, it's time to connect your water reservoir. Take your plastic bottles or small container and fill them with cold water. Attach one end of your hose to the bottom of the reservoir. This will be your water inlet. The other end of the hose will be your outlet, where the heated water comes out. If your hose is a tight fit, you can use duct tape to seal the connection and prevent leaks. Place the reservoir slightly higher than the coil, so gravity helps the water flow through the tubing. This simple trick ensures a steady, even flow and prevents air bubbles from getting trapped. Here's another hidden method most people overlook. Angle your entire setup toward the sun. The more direct sunlight your coil receives, the faster and hotter your water will get. If you're building this on the ground, use a couple of bricks or rocks to tilt the coil and cover toward the south or north if you're in the southern hemisphere. Adjust the angle throughout the day if you can, or set it up in the sunniest spot you have. Now, let's talk about filling and using your heater. Slowly pour water into the reservoir and watch as it travels through the black hose, soaking up heat with every inch. Depending on the length of your hose and the strength of the sun, you can expect to see a noticeable temperature difference in as little as 30 minutes. For best results, let the water sit in the coil for an hour or two, then open the outlet and collect your hot water. If you want continuous hot water, set up a simple siphon system or use a small hand pump to keep the flow going. Here's a pro tip. If you want even hotter water, cover the inside of your bin or the ground beneath your coil with aluminum foil. This reflects extra sunlight back onto the hose, creating a double heating effect. Most tutorials never mention this, but it can boost your water temperature by several degrees, especially on cooler days. As you build, you'll notice the water inside the hose getting warmer and warmer. The anticipation builds as you check the temperature, waiting for that moment when you realize you've just created free hot water using nothing but sunlight and a few household items. It's a feeling of accomplishment that never gets old. And here's the final suspense. In just a few minutes, I'll show you the real-world results, how hot the water actually gets, and how the simple setup can change the way you think about energy forever. But first, let's look at a few genius hacks to make your solar water heater even more powerful and reliable, so you never have to settle for lukewarm results. These are the tweaks that can double your heat output and make your setup work even on days when the sun isn't blazing. Skip these, and you're leaving serious performance and savings on the table. This traps the heat inside the tubing, so more of it goes into your water instead of leaking out into the air. It's a simple step, but it can make your water noticeably hotter, especially in the early morning or late afternoon. Next, don't underestimate the power of reflectors. Place sheets of aluminum foil, shiny car sunshades, or even old mirrors around your setup to bounce extra sunlight onto your coil. This solar boost can increase your water temperature by up to 20%, and it costs almost nothing. Another pro move: paint any exposed parts of your setup black, including the reservoir and the inside of your bin. Black absorbs more heat, while lighter colors reflect it away. It's a tiny detail, but it adds up. Finally, avoid the classic mistake of using clear or light-colored tubing. Only black tubing will absorb enough heat to make this work. And always check for leaks. Just a tiny drip can ruin your pressure and waste precious hot water. Remember, Skip these hacks and you'll miss out on 2x the heat. But use them and you'll have a solar water heater that outperforms anything you've seen online. Now, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for, the real-world results. After setting up the solar water heater in direct sunlight for just 2 hours, I measured the temperature of the water before and after. Starting with cold tap water at around 60 degrees Fahrenheit, the water coming out of the hose reached an impressive 120 degrees. That's nearly double the starting temperature and hot enough for a comfortable shower, washing dishes, or even sterilizing tools in a pinch. And remember, this was achieved with nothing but sunlight and a few dollars worth of materials. But the benefits don't stop at just saving money on your utility bill. This DIY solar water heater is a game changer for anyone who loves camping, RVing, or spending time off-grid. Imagine having hot water for cooking or cleaning, even in the middle of nowhere, without needing propane or electricity. It's also a lifesaver in emergencies. If the power goes out or you're dealing with a natural disaster, you'll still have access to hot water for hygiene and comfort. The proof is right here. Simple materials, a bit of sunlight, and a hidden method that delivers real, tangible results. This isn't just a clever hack. It's a practical solution that can make your life easier, safer, and a whole lot cheaper. And the best part? Anyone can do it, starting today. Most DIY solar water heaters fail for the same few reasons, and they're almost always preventable. The biggest mistake? Using clear or light-colored tubing instead of black. Light colors reflect sunlight, while black tubing absorbs and traps heat, so always stick with black for maximum efficiency. Another common error is leaving the coil loose or uneven, which lets heat escape and reduces water temperature. Make sure your coil is tight, flat, and secured with zip ties or tape. Many people also forget about leaks. Even a tiny drip can waste heat and water, so check all your connections regularly and seal them with waterproof tape if needed. Over time, exposure to the sun can make plastic brittle, so every few months, inspect your hose for cracks or weak spots. If you spot any, replace that section right away. It's a quick fix that keeps your heater running strong. Finally, don't let dirt or debris build up inside the tubing. Flush your system with clean water every few weeks to keep it clear and efficient. These simple forever fixes will keep your solar water heater working season after season, saving you money and hassle for years to come. Most people overlook these steps, but now you know the secrets to making your DIY heater last. Most people stop after building a single solar water heater, but if you're ready to take your savings and self-sufficiency to the next level, there are some powerful upgrades you can try. Imagine linking 2 or 3 of these heaters together in series. Suddenly, you're multiplying your hot water output without spending much more. Or, if you want to go big, use longer coils of hose or larger containers to heat even more water at once. For the truly ambitious, you can connect your solar heater directly to your home's plumbing system with a simple diverter valve. This way, you preheat your water before it even reaches your regular water heater, slashing your energy use and bills even further. Some DIYers even add a small pump or timer to automate water flow, so you always have hot water ready when you need it. Don't let your projects stop at the basics. These next-level upgrades are what separate casual tinkerers from true home hack pros. Most people never realize how much more they could save, but now you know the secrets to scaling up. If you want to maximize your results, these are the steps you can't afford to miss. Now that you've seen just how easy and effective this $10 solar water heater can be, don't let this opportunity slip by. Take action today. Gather your materials, follow the steps, and experience the satisfaction of creating free hot water with your own hands. Imagine the money you'll save and the energy you'll never have to waste again. If you try this build, share your results in the comments below. I'd love to see your setups and hear how much you're saving. And if you want more hidden solutions and powerful DIY hacks like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the benefits. Don't wait for your next energy bill to remind you. Transform your home and your savings today.